What's happening there, guys, and welcome back to our channel. In this popular adventure series, Hollywood stuntman Colt Seavers acts as a bounty hunter. His witty, somewhat clumsy cousin and a beautiful, resourceful stunt woman are always prepared to assist him. Although his bail bond employers frequently cheat him, Colt always gets his man, and very often the woman as well. Here are the Fall Guy 1981 cast then and now 2022. Number 5. Heather Thomas Jody Banks. Jody Banks is one of the hottest stunt women in Hollywood. She was Colt's sole other stunt team member until Howie stepped up and started hitting on her, much to her chagrin. Heather Thomas shone brilliantly as the fit, faded denim bombshell that kept males looking beyond the explosives when she joined the set of The Fall Guy. Heather Thomas burst onto the scene in 1978 with a short-lived series called Co-Ed Fever, which attempted to cash in on the Animal House-style startling comedy fad. However, television is not the appropriate medium for this, but fear not, for she appeared in one episode of BJ and the Bear in 1980, created by Glenn Larson, who recalled her when casting his next show, The Fall Guy. Heather was hooked on cocaine during The Fall Guy and ultimately sought treatment in the mid-80s to get clean. From a significant position on television to her fame as a pinup model, everything appeared to be going well for the actress on the surface. After her part in the 1998 film My Giant, her acting career ended. Except for a 2014 performance in the movie Girl Trash All Night Long, she doesn't have any films in her repertoire that are regarded as must-haves. Zapped, a 1982 high school comedy starring Willie Amos and Scott Baio, is one film you might know her from. She stopped performing for various reasons, including stalkers, but she also wanted to spend more time with her family and pursue writing. I had one guy reach over the fence with a knife one night, she says of the stalkers remaining. I had these two small children that needed to be raised, so that was the end of it. She has dabbled with writing, with her debut novel Trophies being published in 2008. Today, she's 64 years old and may be tracked on social media from a safe distance. Number 4. Marky Post Terry. Terry Michaels, who took the place of Big Jack in Season 2, was a bail bondswoman. Although she spoke at 1,000,000 miles per hour, Marky was underappreciated in this program. Despite this, her career flourished once she departed the program after Season 4. She eventually left that job for a better one, Christine Sullivan on Night Court, which she starred in from 1984 to 1992. She was also renowned for her role as Georgie Ann in the CBS comedy Hearts of Fire in the 1990s, and it was because of her role as Cameron Diaz's ideal mother in Something About Mary that We Got a Bleeder became renowned. Even more recently, she made waves as Bunny Fletcher in the highly popular Chicago PD for One Chicago. Marky's career is as beautiful as she is. Marky, on the other hand, had been battling cancer since 2017 and died in August 2021 at the age of 70. She died only 27 days after another Night Court co-star, Charlie Robinson, died. Number 3. Douglas Barr Howie. Howie Kid Munson is Colt's younger cousin who not only mismanages Colt's funds, but also drives to and from bounty locations on the first, second, and third shifts. To put it in another way, he's Robin to Major's Batman, and the chemistry is perfect for this series, with Barr providing a lot of comic relief. When Douglas Barr first started acting in 1980, he was cast as a series regular in the short-lived construction workers comedy When the Whistle Blows. But happily, it was just for one season since The Fall Guy arrived the following year. He played Alex Jagger in the late 1980s sitcom The Wizard, an eccentric child inventor. In 1990, he starred in Space Invaders, a family-friendly sci-fi film. The infamously dim-witted Martians were rather amusing. In the early 1990s, it was 13 episodes of Designing Women. Barr's final starring role was in the Cheryl Ladd-led series One West Waikiki in 1994, but he had other plans. In 1998, he founded Hollywood and Vine Cellars, a tiny but high-end winery in Napa Valley. Douglas has been married to Claire Kirkconnell since 1984 and is 72 years old now. In 1985, Claire appeared in a season 5 episode of The Fall Guy. He keeps a quiet profile, however, he did attend the reunion of The Fall Guy in 2020. Number 2. Joanne Fluke Samantha. Samantha Big Jack is a bail bondswoman who appeared on The Fall Guy for only one season. In the following season, another actress would take up the role. Joanne voiced the Invisible Girl in the 1967 cartoon The Fantastic Four, so you might remember her for one of her earliest jobs, even though you couldn't see her on two fronts. Then, in 1970, she landed a significant role as Lieutenant Dish in the Robert Altman-directed picture MASH. Although a substantial chunk of her performance was chopped for time, her charm and beauty managed to leave an indelible impression. The 1970s were a tremendous decade for her, from the Yul Brynner-led western Catlow in 1971 through 10 episodes of Operation Petticoat. However, in the 1980s, things started to slow down. She also works on producing and conducting etiquette training courses for youngsters and business executives and performing. She married Chuck Woolery of Love Connection in 1972, and the pair had one daughter before divorcing in 1980. She's also interviewing celebs including Pat Boone and Shirley MacLaine on CV Radio's The Joanne Fluke Show since 2011. She's now 81 years old. She resided in Florida and was baptized in Pat and Shirley Boone's pool after becoming a born-again believer. Number 1. Lee Majors Colt Seavers. Colt Seavers was known as the Fall Guy of Hollywood, a stuntman who moonlights as a bounty hunter using his stunt abilities and experience. So beware, Duane Chapman. The cast of The Fall Guy says, "This is the story of one of America's great unsung heroes." Colt was well known for utilizing his beautiful striped GMC 4x4 truck to apprehend fugitives or innocent people who need to be questioned. Trouble would occasionally find him, even if it came from outer space. Colt Seavers is a seasoned Hollywood stuntman who soon learns that life is more than simply being, well, the Fall Guy. Majors began acting in the mid-1960s with his breakout performance in the Western series The Big Valley when he beat over hundreds of possible Barkley family half-siblings for the role of Heath. Burt Reynolds, fresh off his role as Quint in Gunsmoke, was one of those potentials. However, when most people think of Lee Majors, they think of his larger, quicker, and more powerful performance in The $6 Million Man. This series was genuinely decade-defining, from the costume through the memorable run. During this period, he married Farrah Fawcett, the one and only. Their marriage, on the other hand, was a little rocky. Lee intended Farrah to assume a housewife role, cooking dinners on a schedule, but the couple split in 1982 after 9 years of their marriage and a successful career for Farrah. "I suppose I saw her 2 weeks in a year," Lee Majors stated. "This is a difficult industry to work in. Both of us are working 14 hours a day." Since early in his career, Lee worked as a stuntman and had lots of stuntman pals. The Fall Guy erupted onto the scene in 1981, and as part of the cast, Lee made sure actual stunt performers received enough work on his program. After the series concluded, his career dived. Raven, a program about the exploits of a ninja and ex-Special Forces man, aired for 2 seasons in 1991, and it was well received. Then came Bionic Ever After, a 1994 television reunion film. In 2021, we last saw him in the film Narco Sub. He's now filming Spring Break 83 with Do You Remember favorites, including Chip's Eric Estrada. Lee is still alive today. Lee is now over 82 years old, and he and Faith Majors have been married since 2002. Let's raise a glass to this incredible 1980s series. Is there a particular episode of this that you recall? The roller derby event was fantastic. After all, who doesn't enjoy watching Jody throw some bows at some strong ladies? Did you have a favorite Fall Guy character? And who among us believes this was Lee Majors' most okay television show? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, I'll catch you guys later in another awesome video. Take care now.